It's time to get to Steven's A-list. Max, Molly, and Darren Woodson, listen up. The top 5 quarterbacks, according to moi, going into this week's playoff.
Lord.
Let's get right down to number 5. Give it to me. Tom Brady. Why? Because he's Tom Brady. That's why. I don't want to hear Max talking about some clip. I'm talking Tom Brady. I'm talking the New England Patriots. I'm talking a playoff game in Foxborough. Get over it. He's still around. He's still relevant. We'll see what the Chargers have going for them. Go to number 4 on the list. Give it to me. Dak Prescott. Why? Because he remembered that he doesn't just have 2 arms. Guess what? He's got 2 legs. He ran the football in the 4th quarter. He was effective. He made things happen. He was the big reason why the Dallas Cowboys won outside of Ezekiel Elliott. Dak Prescott showed up. My brother, I'm looking forward to you getting paid in the future. Number 3 on the list. You know where I'm going with this, Darren Woodson. Phillip Rivers. Why? Because he's a future Hall of Famer. That's why. Because he's been a model of consistency this year. That's why. Because the guy is going to show up. Now, he's 0 for 7 against the Patriots in his career. We get all of that. But at some point in time, some would argue you're due. And when you look at that defense and the fact that it's going to keep them in the game, it may come down to Rivers. I believe in this brother. I think he deserves our respect. That's why I'm mentioning him. Number 2 on the list. Give it to me. Patrick Mahomes. Why? Because he's a stud. That's why. His first year, quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs. Boy, are y'all lucky this man doesn't have Kareem Hunt. Because if Kareem Hunt was there with Tyreek Hill, with Travis Kelce and the crew, trust me, we weren't even talking about Mahomes. We'd be talking about everybody else trying to figure out a way to beat Mahomes because he's that big time. Let's get to number 1 on the list. Give it to me right now, Andrew Luck. Why? Because not only is he returned, not only is he looking exceptional, but you got an offensive line that's protecting him. This is a man that was sacked over 40 times. This year, it was 18. If you noticed on my list, there is no Nick Foles. I am so sick and tired of everybody talking about Nick Foles. I'm tired of this Cinderella miracle man
That's
story.
not even. By the way, Foles belongs on the list. But so does Drew Brees belong on that list.
Yes,
you don't have him in the top 5. Now, here's the thing about Tom Brady.
I just forgot about him.
You don't want to hear about Cliff. There are 8 quarterbacks left, and you don't have Brady in the top 4. Tom Brady, who has can waltz into the playoffs in the AFC East, has a bye, coming off a bye, now a home game, and you still don't have him in the top 4. I rest my case. You left out Brees and you left out Foles. Well, they both belong in there instead of Brady.
Brees was a total mistake and slip up on my card. I actually thought I had him on the list. I just forgot. But outside of that, if you want to get rid of Tom Brady for the top 5, that's cool.
All right. Right, so you don't even have Brady in the top 5. And I'll tell you something else.
You
just totally forgot
Brees.
Honestly speaking, my focus was making sure I kept Nick Foles off the list. That's really what I wanted to accomplish.
Why would you want to keep the Super Bowl
because
MVP?
I'm tired of it. Go ahead, Darren.
How do you keep Drew Brees? How did you just forget?
I just
you
forgot
can't
about
just forget to keep Drew Brees
I took him
off the list.
I took him for granted because I expect him to win the Super Bowl this year, and I'm going to be raving about him the next 3 weeks.
But what about Foles?
I ain't thinking about Nick Foles. I ain't thinking about Nick Foles.
Nick Foles just won at Soldier Field. He's a Super Bowl MVP.
Right. Yeah, I get it. Look, that's an argument to be had there. There is an argument to be had there. But when you look, where does he fit in that list? I mean, maybe it's Dak that's off the list. I don't know. I just look at the greatness that is on that list. Drew Brees should be on the list somewhere when 1, 2, or 3, whatever they want to be. Tom Brady, of course.
Tom Brady, of course.
Patrick Mahomes, absolutely.
Mahomes, of course. Brady don't make the list. No, Brady don't make the list. We're talking about now, or we talking about ancient history? We talking about like before, or we talking about right now? He belongs on the list.
Right now. Brady
over Foles, who just beat him in the Super Bowl.
Who just beat him in the Super Bowl and then has been lighting it up recently. That Nick Foles, who just beat the Bears at Soldier Field, that Nick Foles should not be on the list.
I am not taking the GOAT off the list. The GOAT will be on the list. Tom Brady will forever. I don't care where he lands. He's going to be in the top 5. He's going to be on everyone's list. It's just because of what he's done and accomplished in the past. I get what you're saying. Nick Foles maybe should be on this list for what he's done.
You should be a Pro Bowler because of what you accomplished in the past. You should be a Pro Bowler still in that case.
Oh, my God. Can we move on?
Let's move on.
Thank you.
Listen, I was just having fun. I just wanted to keep Nick Foles off the list. That was my only goal. Of course, I know Drew Brees.
Okay.
Let me please. Drew Brees.
And you had the little brain fart.
You know
it's all
saying?
good. It was fun.